I work with women all over the world who are dealing with infertility problems. I want to call them problems, but different issues. And if you're having some of those, I've written about this extensively in my book, Mystical Motherhood. And really we don't know all of the reasons that there's a rise of infertility on this earth. And some sources say that in the next 40 years, infertility will rise up to 50%. And it's not something that's really being talked about on the news. You don't see it as active subjects in newspapers, but it's a problem. And they don't know what the underlying issue of it is, unless the woman has something in her body going on that you can actually, or the man, that you can actually nail down. Some of it is we don't know, but we do know that the food we eat matters, and what we put into our body affects our system. We do know that the toxins in the environment can definitely affect us and generations to follow. And one thing that's really not talked about is the spiritual and emotional part of fertility. When a woman is on birth control for an extraordinary amount of time, such as 18 years, if you think about it, a lot of women start birth control around the age of 14, 15. It's not uncommon for whatever reason they choose to at that age, and it's supported. But then if they're having a child, say around the age of 30, and they maintain to be on birth control for that many years, 15 plus, which is not untypical, they then demand their body to have a baby. But for 15 years, they had been telling their body that they didn't want to have a baby, that they're no every single month praying, oh, I hope I'm not pregnant, I hope I'm not pregnant, I hope I'm not pregnant. So they basically energetically are turning off the womb and the reproductive system. And that's something we can't do. We need to keep our connection to our womb. Even if we don't want to have a baby, we still need to keep a connection to our body so that we can energetically function if we choose to have one later. And this is, consciously connecting to ourselves and also to the baby that's going to come through. And so you really can't begin to connect to your womb too early. You should start, if you know you're going to have a baby as a child, as long as you're being safe, you can say, I want to have a baby later, but I'm going to send loving light and energy to my reproductive organs so that I can keep the motor charged, so that I, can keep connection with myself, so that when I do want to have a baby, I'm prepared and I'm ready and I know how to energetically connect to that part of my body. That's a skill and meditations. I teach this in Mystical Motherhood. I also teach meditations from the Kundalini Yoga heritage that helps with ovulation, that helps with getting the ovaries in order, and you do this daily. I recommend the Kirtan Kriya if you're having a problem having your period. A lot of women I know are not getting their period or are not ovulating. I work with clients like that. And if you're not having a period, you may need to increase your calories by 500 to 700 calories a day. And you may need to eat more wholesome and clean foods that aren't full of toxins or inflammatories. All of this is in my book, Mystical Motherhood, and specifically the meditations to connect to your womb, so that you can at least reduce the stress while you're trying to have a baby, and you can connect to your soul a little bit more to prepare yourself for the child to come in. If you have any questions, I have so much more to teach you. I'd love you to connect with me online at mysticalmotherhood.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. I'm always teaching new things. And I would love for you to reach out and ask me questions and subscribe below. Mystical Motherhood can be found on Amazon now. And it will take you step by step through the process of bringing a conscious child onto this planet, while also raising your vibration and creating a happy family, which is what we all need right now.